To start streaming, now that we've had that garbage fest, let's close this out. Okay, we should be livey live, hopefully.
I'll just finish this up. It won't have the full context, so people won't get it if they're listening. But, basically, her roommate.
Well, we could just like do a proper introduction and then say it off the stream.
No, it's literally like 5 seconds. Her roommate was confirmed to have COVID, and now she is currently.
This is how we want to start it.
Yeah, she's 2 hours away, staying with her parents to wait out her test results.
Nice. Good solid 10 concurrent viewers here in the COVID story. So what's up, everybody? This is Spencer, and I am joined by Mac, otherwise known as 3000 Maka. Now, Mac, important question to celebrate your newest arrival of subscribers. Do you have more subscribers now than money in your bank account?
Yes.
That's good. You don't want it to be the other way around.
Yeah. Oh man, I am just, without getting too much into it, I am just like constantly floating. I'm never really going down, nor am I ever really going up.
Is it bad? Like, we could say the same for both money and subscribers.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, like in terms of saving money for stuff, I just have to use like money saving apps that like just take out.
What do you like? Are we sponsored by Honey for this live stream? Like, what do you mean, like money saving apps?
No, we're sponsored by Digit.
What is Digit? Oh my god!
It's a money saving app that's actually pretty decent.
This sounds sketchy, dude. Also, I need to let you know. Please tell me you have the live stream up on yourself, like on your end, not my end.
I do.
When I was reacting to the Dante trailer with Ozzy, he was like 5 seconds behind and we couldn't figure it out, and he'd been watching the live version. So like when the YouTube premiere thing was happening, we were like, wait, what the fuck's going on? It was like, oh, okay. Hello to everybody in chat, just so you all don't think we're talking about the Ronas and Digit saving apps. So thank you for joining us. Keiko, Saltendo, Joey, Relax, Alex, Madigan, Let's Happy, Master Kid, Kooky Chris, Khalil, Galaxy Productions, The Shredder, and Number One, because let's be real, I'm not going to be saying your name and butchering it that bad, as well as Mango Consumer. Thank you for joining us live. We are reacting to the second Nocturne HD Remaster trailer, which is, I guess by YouTube time, should be live in like 5 minutes after the world's loudest premiere wait music goes on. So let's do predictions really quick, because YouTube algorithm demands it. Chat, if you guys have any guesses for what this trailer is going to be, I would love to know. Mac, I kind of got started on my predictions, but if you had to like gun to your head, Daddy Atlas is like saying, I need you to make me a trailer pre-TGS. What is this trailer going to have in it?
The only thing I can think of that's not like brand new content, which they said they're not going to be doing, the only thing I can really think of is a trailer that shows off some of the changes or some of like the tweaks to the game. Hopefully, biggest wish, better fusion system, fixing fusions. That's really the only thing I could think of they could show that's not brand new content. Everything else I can't really think of off the top of my head.
They wouldn't like save the gross DLC for its own trailer, would they? I feel like we're now past the point where like they would have had to announce the gross DLC if it was going to happen.
Yeah, I think they would. They would have already talked about it at this point. I don't think they would have kept it for its own special trailer.
I kind of feel like the same boat with quality of life changes of like, outside of visuals, I don't know if you've noticed, they've really not said like, hey, we're doing this or hey, we're doing that. And I think a large part of that is probably due to the fact that like they probably don't either want to or don't feel comfortable enough messing with the game's code outside of like whatever they're doing with Merciful DLC, which like I still kind of feel like Merciful is either going to be way too easy and no one's going to have fun with it, or it's going to be like still not easy enough and people will still find a way to complain.
I think the latter is gonna happen, even if it's not even necessarily that it's still too hard, but rather I think no matter what, even if merciful DLC, even if merciful difficulty is like the easiest thing, I still think there are gonna be people who like, you know, SMT is so hard, it's the meme. I still think there'll be people that will be like, oh man, this game is so hard, it's like impossible, even if merciful is like super easy.
Now, weird question. Would you be hyped, or would this not do anything for you if this game did like the Sly Cooper HD treatment of, if you platinum this game, we're going to give you like an SMT 5 trailer on Switch and a DDS Remaster Collection trailer on PS4?
That would be hype as hell.
Because if you guys remember, remember when they did the Sly Trilogy Collection on PS3? If you platinumed all 3 games, you got, what was it? You got a teaser trailer for Sly 4 Thieves in Time.
So I've only beaten Sly 1. I played a good chunk of Sly 2, but I had to stop because I was playing it at my friend's when I was visiting him a few years ago. And I have not played it, but I do remember like hearing about that from that same friend back when the HD trilogy came out. So I have like some memory, some idea, I guess.
That like first Sly Cooper is such a great, just like really bread and butter basic collectathon game that like it's like Jak 1, like Jak and Daxter, of like easily the lightest tone out of all of them, easily the shortest, but because it's just that era of like collectathon, which first party PlayStation got away from really quickly after like Jak and Daxter and Sly 1, because like you look at Jak 2 and even Sly 2, they're all like a lot bigger open world stuff. They kind of got away from that. Mm-hmm. So I always kind of look back at those games of like being just really, really fun to like turn your brain off, just like really bright, colorful, kind of like fun stuff for it. Oh, we're finally starting.
Oh,
I like my my YouTube premiere on OBS wanted to be faster than my actual browser. Okay, let's shut up. Real quick, this. Oh god, he's thinking.
What's the countdown say for you?
I'm refreshing on OBS. It's saying 135.
Oh really? Mine's at 140, 39, 80, 38, 37, 36, 35.
That's so funny. Yeah, I'm matching you. So as long as we're matching, that's fine with me. I'm matching you on my end, but OBS is faster, so that's fine. I don't know how that is working. OBS is like it's in the future clearly.
Wait, OBS is further along?
Yeah, my OBS preview of the image is actually more farther ahead than everything else.
How?
I don't want to question it, and neither should you. That's just how the internet's gonna work.
Just don't look at OBS. I guess that's the answer. Don't look at OBS.
Actually, yeah, my little browser I have pulled up right now is just being like super slow for some reason, and it's not a YouTube thing.
I like the premiere feature, but I don't like how it's the exact same canned
every time.
Yeah. I wish it was a number of presets you can use, or you can make your own, and it just has to be like 2 minutes.
So I've got like 15 seconds left before this starts, so I might as well. I'm gonna click out of my little one here and just drag OBS onto the big screen. So I got 5 seconds left. I'm going to say my prediction is Dante is a pre-order bonus in Japan, and if we're really, really lucky, we get a demo announcement at the end for TGS. So let's find out.
Hello, Will. My friend is in the chat. Hello.
Hi, Will.
I gotta unmute.
I gotta say, the map looks a lot better than I thought it would. I feel like in the reveal trailer, the meat was looking a little sloppy.
Oh, you're still a little ahead of me. Damn it. Tokyo died. I came to life, or whatever the fuck he said.
This is easily the most like story they've had in their trailer in a while, which is funny for such an old game. Honestly, this is a much better showcase of the voice acting, though, so I'm just happy about that.
Yes. Futomimi.
I'm very surprised how much voice acting they're actually doing for the demons. I was guessing they were going to cheap out and just do the main cast of characters.
Hey, Godo!
Those lip flap animations, by the way, for the cat,
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I wonder if they're getting the same voice actor for Godo as in Soul Hackers.
I mean, you have to think like how busy are those actors?
Yeah.
This game is so lucky that it has a really good artistic design because man, most PS2 games would not look this good blown up.
No, that's one thing I really like about Nocturne is it's very cinematic in its presentation and like how it frames things.
That's what's so funny about while Persona is the more popular one from the PS2 era, all of the SMT games look considerably better than Persona 3 and 4 because Persona 3 and 4 were just so much grander they had to simplify all the models.
Mm-hmm. And the camera could never really get close in. It always had to be from top up from the diagonal angle. Esoteric. Isometric. Fuck me.
Oh man, I'm just glad to be able to
So
listen to this.
I guess it's just a story trailer.
Very weird to make such a big deal for a story trailer. Yeah, of hey, we're gonna announce the. I really kind of going back to what we said though. It is way more voice acting. Hey, we're showing off. Here's the cast. Blah blah blah. Which I kind of assumed they blew their load on for the first trailer, so I'm glad they haven't. All right, Dante's in the trailer. Are you going to give everyone good news, or are you just teasing him with DLC? And yeah, he still says DLC. Dang it! My money bet of it being, oh man. I mean, it's okay. It's like I'm glad there's a new trailer, but at the same time, it's why throw Dante at the end if you're still just going to say, oh, he is just still DLC? In the chat, you're saying DMC2 Dante is your favorite costume? I'm not even mad at you. That's just that's not a hot take, a bold take. That's something you'd have to wear protection in public to say. I can't imagine thinking DMC2 Dante being your fave. What? Sorry, what did you accidentally do?
I accidentally left the stream to just keep playing, and then it ended, and then it started to autoplay the next video, and it starts autoplaying the old it plays old P4 Ultimax trailer, and the very first thing I hear is Margaret just singing Atlas. She's just singing Atlas. It keeps going, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
That's too fucking weird. So here, I don't know. I'm gonna just have it on loop really quick while we talk. Do you want to go finish it up on your end while I set up the loop? Just refresh it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about chat, but it was fine. It was just like a trailer. It was what the jokes I was making, unfortunately, of it felt like a trailer for a game I played 15 years ago. And outside of the voice acting, it just kind of rang a little hollow for me. Of like, yeah, it's cool, but I know that Atlas West couldn't get paid to do the English voice acting of this trailer fast enough, sadly. So it seems weird, especially pre-TGS, to do this like 2 weeks before. But they're also like they're in their we've got to pimp this game mode. So like at the same time, I get it. I don't know.
I just think it's weird that they kind of sort of made the trailer out to be like it would be a bigger deal. They were like, oh, there's a countdown. We got a new one coming in 24 hours. Get ready. And then it was just, at least as far as we could tell, it's just a story trailer that just shows off more of the voice acting and some of the stuff's like, ooh, it looks really pretty.
Andrew's bringing up something very important. I gotta ask you, Max, because I've already made fun of Gnarly for having hopes and dreams about this. Are you in the camp of thinking that there's actually going to be SMT5 at TGS? Because I laugh at that idea. I think we were lucky to get anything this year, and we'll be fucked if we get anything at TGS from them.
I definitely think it's possible. It's definitely, well, I think it's really just gonna depend on if they're worried that any SMT5 news could like overshadow Nocturne HD at all.
Yeah, because like think about it. If you're Atlas, why promote a similar SMT game when you have a brand new one coming out in like less than 2 months, you know?
I think we could see like another like teaser or another like mention of it, but I don't think we'll get like major details at TGS. I don't know. I think that's about the most that I'm kind of expecting.
And also important to remember that like it's Atlas and Sega, and I think a large part of the fandom who's thinking Sega's going to do something like crazy like Sonic, I'm in the camp of them showing off Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 and Yakuza 7 Next Gen, because why else is Xbox there if not to show off their like? Because remember, Xbox is the only place that's showing off. That is launching with Yakuza 7 on next gen. PS5 is until next year. But yeah, the chat brings up a good point. They have an hour to fill, so like I could believe them fitting in a lot more, but Atlas is usually known for just kind of doing deep dives on 1 or 2 projects. But yeah, going back to the trailer though, it's like it seems fine, but even by Atlas Japan marketing standards, it just kind of seems weird for me. Of like, okay, we are promoting this game again. I don't know, because like I'm used to their marketing beats being a little bit better. Of like, here's the game, here's something you didn't know, here's the opening movie, here's our plans, we're gonna show off the characters. Because like even if like this wasn't just like a trailer of like, hey, we're gonna show off the main cast a lot more. Because really, this trailer to me, imagine if we got this when the game was announced. Like it's not it's not that much longer, and it shows off the cast and story way better. Because like the first trailer we got really feels more like a teaser trailer compared to this.
Yeah, I think this probably would have been a better like reveal trailer. I don't know. This trailer's just kind of weird. It's just a little awkward, I guess.
Yeah, and also like showing gameplay off at the end felt very like sporadic in terms of like, okay, so you're showing off gameplay kind of at the end, but really most of it was kind of about the story. And obviously, I don't know, at least for people, I don't know if maybe anyone in chat hasn't played the story of Nocturne. Of like, I feel like looking at the story of Nocturne without any real context, it all just looks like absolute nonsense is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Having by the way 40 seconds devoted to DLC at the end also felt very weird. Of like, okay, why show Dante again when he was literally your last big marketing beat? and the gameplay wasn't like that much better. Yeah, just kind of a meh trailer, which sucks because like I got very excited from the last one. Like having Dante announced got me a lot more excited than what I would have liked, and like they didn't really do a lot to kind of showcase. Look at how much better HDified this is. It was basically just story, voice acting, and we're gonna sell you on the same thing we sold you from the last two trailers.
I have two main, I guess, takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
Or like two main things I want to talk about. That P4U2 trailer, that's the one that auto played for me, where it startled me. And I was like, what is happening?
And you just heard Chibi Margaret really, really loud.
Yeah. But anyway, I get the two main things that I'm thinking about right now is one, this trailer just kind of further confirms that the pre-rendered scenes from the original, they clearly do not have the original assets for those to redo them in 16:9, because as you'll see in the trailer, they still have, like, rather than having it be stretched out to 16:9 or whatever, they just have the bars on the side that try and make it look like it's extended, but it's
now,
really just the edges.
I don't know. I'm watching this kind of bordered. I'm not having it full screen like through Premiere. I'll give them a bit of a doubt. Like, they could have cleaner versions of it still in the full version of the game, but like they may have just not been able to like really stretch it out, like, because a lot of companies even back in the early 2000s weren't making stuff 16:9 even with their source files. Like, I was surprised when Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy X, those got HD, and they touched up their FMV so well. But I mean, Square Enix literally has a whole division devoted to like pre-rendered stuff, so that's a little less surprising. I don't know. Yeah, just in terms of it, it's like, as a first trailer, this is great. Like, if we never got the last two trailers, and this is how they announced Dante, and this is how they announced the game, they'd be like, holy crap, that's really cool. Like, that's like, it'd be a lot of information overload, but like, this is like a 3.5 minute long trailer. Like, I think if this was in the direct, that would have been a lot cooler. And this shows off so many of the different like locales and kind of almost like crazy set pieces of the story that like I feel like this would just, if anything, intrigue people a lot more. So
yeah, it's a more interesting trailer. It just doesn't really show anything for returning people at all. It doesn't show anything else comparatively to the first one. But this is definitely a more interesting trailer. It showed off a lot more of like the creepy moments, I guess, as well as some of the stuff that's like later in the game, or stuff that's like not in the summary, the plot synopsis that people usually give, like Futomimi and such. I don't know. I mean, it's a fine trailer. But here's the second thing I was wondering. So Daisuke Ono is playing Hikawa in this.
Yes.
Daisuke Ono, of course, having played characters like Erwin in Attack on Titan, as well as Jotaro Kujo. In the English dub, you can hear Matt Mercer in the English dub of the first trailer, but it's kind of hard to tell. Like, they don't make it clear who he's playing. I think he's playing Hijiri, but I find it kind of funny that like part of the reason why he was cast to play Jotaro in the English dub of JoJo was because he sounds so much. He's like, outside of like Troy Baker, he's the one voice actor that sounds like Daisuke Ono. So
I get that.
So I'm wondering if he's playing Hijiri and not Hikawa. I just think that's kind of funny. But if he's playing Hikawa, I think he'd be a good Hikawa and Hijiri. I think he'd probably be a better fit for Hijiri. But it's just kind of this awkwardness, I guess. But it's even just exclusively for me because I take an interest in like voice acting and stuff.
It'd be hard to say. Like, I wonder if they'd be that forward thinking for it, but it's a little bit harder to tell. I guess kind of trying to wrap up. Oh no, what were you gonna say?
If it was to happen at all, if it is like, Matt Mercer is playing Hikawa, that would not be because, oh, he played Jotaro and this is Daisuke Ono. It'd be because, oh, it would just be a coincidence. But yeah, it's
I feel
whatever.
like
Regardless.
I feel like it's so
It's just a
rarely
personal
ever
thing.
like a intentional thing when voice actors kind of match up in that way for their characters. That's like, um, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of typecasting happens in the West, less so in Japan, just because there's a lot larger pool of actors to choose from. But like
The
it's just like funny little
Go on.
things. Like I always remember like weird ones of like, yeah, it's cool to freak out that the voice of like Solid Snake or Vegeta is in something, but literally like those actors have been in thousands of work. Like I'm willing to bet the voice actor of Solid Snake has no idea that he did the Japanese dub of Night Trap, which is a real thing.
He did?
Yes.
Oh my god. That's weird. That's funny. Um, but yeah, voice acting is really interesting. One thing I think a lot of people that hate on dubs, and I this is a really weird tangent to get on, but a lot of people that hate on dubs, like vitriolically, where they're just like they despise them. Uh, One complaint I often see is like, oh, they all sound, they keep getting the same voice actors over and over, and oftentimes the reason for that is just because they don't have a huge acting pool.
Well, that's a much larger conversation to get into. Of
Yeah,
yes, that is true, but a lot of it is like, the American voice acting industry is super incestuous, like
that too.
to a gross degree. But like there is a large part of that, and like thankfully, this is a weird thing to kind of take away from this, but that voiceover strike a couple years ago actually gave prominence to a lot of new actors, but we're still seeing them kind of like loop over. Just like little things of like, if you guys want to know like how incestuous the voiceover industry is, just look at every main voice actor from Marvel's Avengers. It's like they took the white bread of voice actors and put it in the main cast.
Yeah, it's. I think one reason why it, like, a really good explanation for why it's so incestuous too is the fact that oftentimes a lot of these voice actors are also the voice directors, so they do a lot of the casting, and
Well,
they're
yeah,
friends with the voice actors that are trying out for the products they are casting for.
yeah. I think it's more so the thing of like, hey, I'm friends with Valerie. Do you want to like get in on this project or whatever? Things like, because yeah, like the current voice of Naoto I know works over at like PCB, and like she's been the director on a couple of projects where it's like, oh yeah, well I'm just getting all these people together. But yeah, it's a whole other thing of it's so weird, and it's such like a
It's
tough
different.
complaint because it's like it's hard for me to be like, I don't want Troy Baker to be in as many games as he in, because the immediate follow up can just be like, what's wrong, dude? You don't want me to make money? Like, how am I supposed to make a living? It's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's competitive, but at the same time, you have to be aware he has a very very high advantage because like of his pedigree.
Yeah, it's this kind of thing where, like, I totally get why we keep hearing the exact same people over and over again, but that doesn't make it not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely think it does. Uh, uh, it is a problem, even if it is. I think a lot of voice actors don't like to acknowledge that it is one, because
The,
straight up, like, that's how they make money.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing that's so hard about this conversation is like having an honest and like real conversation about that. It's just so hard because at the end of the day, this is someone's livelihood. It's like no one's going to come up to either of
Mhm.
us at our day jobs and be like, "What the fuck, dude? Why have you had this position for so long?" It's like, "Cause I need money, dude." It's just like they're. It's because they're.
Exactly.
It's like they're in a position where it's like, hey, it's like if you look at a streamer, anyone can stream. Look at this hilarious abomination of a stream. We're streaming, and like it's a way more free market than like voice acting. Of like I can't just like throw demo reels at someone's like face and have as good of a chance as like someone like Sean Chiplock is to land in any anime role ever. It is very much so a who you know and what they know about you kind of industry.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you can ask my friend who was in the chat earlier, Will. He's a voice actor, but he mainly just does, like, fan stuff. He doesn't live in LA. He doesn't live in Dallas. but he still has learned a lot about the voice acting industry, and he's told me that it is kind of frustrating hearing about how a lot of it really is just you need to know the right people,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, you know, getting in based on like your actual quality. Not to say the people who get in aren't good, just that oftentimes the way you get in the first place is you're good, but you know someone.
Yep. Well, on that very long half react, half voiceover deep dive with Mac. Mac, thank you so much for joining me. Chat and anyone watching this after the fact, thank you so much for joining me on this weird, kind of short live to react. Because let's be honest, it wouldn't be anything I've ever worked on if there isn't a tangent that has nothing to do with the actual thing we all came here for. So thank you, Mac.
Yes, yes. Yes. There was something I was gonna say, and I'm blanking on it now. Fuck.
Where can people find Mac? Where can people find you if you do come up with this idea ever again?
You can find me at Maka on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Or on Twitch it's JBO Maka. I've said this in the our chat, but I haven't said this publicly at all. But I'm wanting to start streaming SMT1. Because my next big video I'm planning on doing is on SMT1. So I'm gonna start streaming that at some point in the future. I'm just kind of taking a break from working on anything videos.
Can I recommend the iOS port?
Yes, that was actually the version I played initially. Oh man, it's gonna be weird with a different translation.
Oh yeah, that is true for.
Yeah, because in the iOS port, I believe the final dungeon is called the Cathedral, while in the fan translation it's like the Basilica or something.
All I remember is that I know the guy who had the most prominent fan translation was brought in to work on the iOS port, but I'm sure it's out there, but I don't actually think that English ROM dump has ever been brought over to like other versions of the game. I think everyone just kind of kept the previous versions.
Man, if only there was something they could do, like taking that English translation script and applying it to the original SNES game, and then, I don't know, putting it out on a streaming service.
That's like sad that like your go-to.
No, I'm not talking to you.
That's like sad that your like your go-to suggestion was just to put it on a subscription service that you can never own again permanently, as opposed to like, at the very least, just be like, hey, can you just update the game on iOS so that people who bought it can play it again?
True. Yeah, no, it's just like I want to play it on something that's not an iPhone.
I mean, I get that, but like,
that is the easiest.
Okay, now we're gonna get into the whole fucking. Where can I play SMT? If you guys liked this, you can subscribe to the channel for some godforsaken reason. Thank you for the 20-something of you all who were chitty-chatting away during this 30-minute long disaster. All the social links are down below, so you can check those out there. No reason to pimp it as long as the podcast, and they're all below me. Either way, let's end this trailer by giving it a archaic review score. We're different today. We're going to judge it like a school grade. Mac, on a scale from A+ to F-, what do you give this score?
Like a C. C+. Just kind of like average, but slightly above average, just because it works as a better first. As a first trailer, it's really solid.
So I'm going to give this a Futurama reference just because it is very appropriate and I think kind of funny still for anyone who remembers it. I'm going to give this trailer I'm going to give this trailer the worst score imaginable to the scientific community. An A-. Because at its core, it's a great trailer, and its execution of it being the like umpteenth trailer and third major trailer, it fails on all fronts of like marketing. Like at its core, like we said, it is a great trailer, but it just released like 2 months late.
Yeah. There's really not much more to be said. It's just basic.
Well, speaking of basic, us basic white boys got to go to bed. So goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Last thing, read Chainsaw Man.
Oh my god, this guy and his chainsaws.
Read Chainsaw Man.
That's gonna be the final thing anyone sees.